Hello designers, this is Mr. Granlund and we're going to talk about the Doodle for Google. Now as you can see on my first screen here, this is the Doodles for doodles.google.com, D for G, and this is the website for the Doodle for Google contest. I encourage you to go to this website and explore a bit. You can click on how it works, what the prizes are. If you're the top winner in the entire country, you get a $30,000 scholarship. Talks a little bit about who the judges are and has some educator resources. And even though you might not be the educator per se, I have put links to these videos here, and it gives you kind of a brief synopsis of how to work with this project. You can watch them here as well, and some frequently asked questions. Now what you're going to start to do is you're going to actually start a little old school. Okay? Now this is just plain old blank paper that I have, and you're seeing me live from my desk here. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take the theme, I show kindness by, and we're going to come up with ideas. Okay? And so just on a scratch piece of paper, list ways that you show kindness. You know, it might be holding the door, saying thank you. Okay, and you might have something like being nice. And what we want to do is we want to think about in what ways are we being nice? You know, is it something like holding the door? And we want to list those out. Come up with a nice list. And this is going to help us with our project. One of the things that I do is I raise money for World Vision. That's something that my wife and I do. We also run marathons. And that's actually how we raise money, is we run marathons and people kind of sponsor, like give us so many dollars per mile or different things like that. You might work at a food show. Whatever your ideas are, the ways that you show kindness, and big, small, and in between, everything that's important to you, write them all down. Okay, so that's going to be the first thing. I'm going to set my list aside. Okay? The second thing that we're going to do is you're going to take that list and you're going to start to turn them into letters. Okay? So, you know, for instance, running a marathon. So when I run those marathons and raise that money, I'm actually, what the World Vision staff does is they turn that money and they dig wells and they help communities in developing countries create clean sources of water. So maybe that could be like an L. Okay, so maybe these are my L ideas, and I have like maybe a well. Okay, a little pump well here, and maybe there's someone, you know, working it. I'm not going to be worried too much about my drawings right now. Maybe water is coming out of it, okay, into, you know, some sort of bucket thing. Maybe some of the ideas for the G, so the big G ideas, you know, maybe it's someone smiling. Maybe it's someone kind of bending down and holding out their hand. You know, that kind of makes the G shape there. And it's okay if I draw right over the top of each other. These are just sloppy copy drawings. So one of the important things about all these ideas is they have to be yours completely, okay? So no copyrighted images, nothing trademarked. So whatever we create for this, they have to be all of our own original ideas. So when I was drawing this picture, this actually references a photograph that I took myself. It's a selfie, or someone else had my camera. So it's my personal picture. So I can use this picture, or I can draw and copy over the top of it. Now anything that I do, I have to draw and create myself. Otherwise, Google, who's putting on the competition, isn't going to accept it. Okay? So once you have your list of ideas and you've come up with some Google letters, then you want to start to draw a better version of what it's going to actually look like with the whole Google setup. So this picture, so this is kind of our third picture now. So you had your list. Okay, that's maybe going to take you 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. Then you have kind of some ideas of how you could turn your list into some letters. And then the third drawing, you're going to create your final Google idea. Okay, so you're going to have for time's sake, I'm going to just do kind of another rough draft. You're going to want to spend a little bit more time with this. Again, mine's going to be a bit easier because I actually have the picture that I'm going to be using. That's my wife. She was wearing a headband. And her hand is going to be holding the other G of the Google, something like that. And I'm going to draw this out and do a nice version of this. Okay? Now from here, after you finish kind of a nice copy, then we need to think about how do we get this idea into the computer. And that's where we're going to switch over to using Photoshop, GIMP, or Photopea. Okay? But the first step is coming up with the ideas.